Robin.
Hey, we got Sam Roberts in studio because we got
What? That's right. Lucky you.
we got Jericho coming in. Our friend Chris Jericho. It's been a while.
They named that turnpike after him.
I knew it.
Eh?
I went local.
What's his Twitter name? I am Jericho.
I am Jericho. He's got like 200,000 followers.
He does
What?
well, man. He's a talented guy. And, we've had our ups and downs with the guy over the years.
He certainly
In
has.
general, we've had many ups.
Yeah.
There was a down with Jimmy, but that turned around nicely.
I think that
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we did forget
that
about
was
that. We
fun.
did move on from that.
Yeah.
That was an
There's-
intense day on the
there's
Opie and Anthony show.
complexities in the relationship.
Couldn't make fun of his hairdo, though.
I just found my...
Jericho, like you did with Jesse the Body.
No,
Refresh.
he has a very full, nice
Yeah, he
head.
had a nice head of hair. Although he did wear that Pebbles Flintstone thing on his head for a while.
Yeah.
Which I think called a cum fountain.
I think we said... Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Well,
It
we're on
looked like-
regular. We're on regular, so we said jizz.
A jizz
We
fountain.
were allowed to say jizz
It's
for a while.
fountain
We called it a
hairdo.
jizz fountain hairdo. He should have punched us in the face for that
Oh,
alone.
my God. That alone deserved
But-
a fucking...
TV PG now.
Chris Jericho
finishing move.
has a book out called Undisputed that he's promoting, and he's talented. So I'm going to read his book. Most wrestling books are not worth the fucking paper they're
really?
printed on. But he's talented and he's got chops. So I think this book's going to be pretty good.
His first book was among the elite in wrestling books.
It was.
Yes.
What was it called? Was it about
A
his life?
Lion's Tale. Yeah. His first book was.
This is about his life, too?
Yeah, his first book left off when he first started in WWE, like his first night there. So
that's we
his
had to
whole-
wait.
That's
like
his
Lord
WWE
of the Rings
career. Exactly.
Yeah.
Had to wait.
And I'm proud to say that the Opie and Anthony show made it into Chris Jericho's new book.
Yeah,
We
big
got about a
way.
page and a half.
Yeah.
What's this about, Sam? That's why we have you in here today.
Well, he talks about first starting Fozzy and how at the beginning, because now he's still in Fozzy. It's like a real band now.
Get the fuck out of here.
He doesn't do the characters.
All
He's
the-
Chris Jericho in Fozzy. It's like a real band. They don't do covers. They do original songs and everything, and they
Right.
tour. But
we used to get all the wrestlers in, and we were so excited to talk to Chris Jericho because he had some heat.
yeah,
And we finally, I remember, we're like, God, we're finally going to talk to Chris Jericho. This is when we're still watching wrestling. They still do well, but I'm long gone. And
well, now it's for the kids. Back then it was like,
these storylines.
Oh,
Adult
you guys,
entertainment
yeah.
back then, yeah.
So we got excited. We're gonna have Chris Jericho. Can't wait to talk to Chris Jericho. And he comes in as this fucking
Moonjuice McQueen.
Moonjuice McQueen.
Because when Fozzy first started, it was they played covers and they did characters.
So he decided, yeah, I'll go on your show, but I'm not going on as Chris Jericho. I'm only going to go on as this guy,
Moonjuice.
Moongoose.
And so, yeah, so you two spent the entire interview trying to get him to break, taking callers, calling him
Chris Jericho.
first Chris Jericho
Yeah.
and then, Moonjuice and
Mule Juice McQuade.
Mule Juice McQueer. And Dice was in too.
I remember that day.
Yeah.
I was in for that day.
It was a great day.
Wow.
And so he said, but in his book, he was talking about how he was really going out there and for every press thing, protecting the character. He wouldn't break. And he basically says that his toughest obstacle in trying to not break the character was coming on Opie and Anthony because you guys just would not.
We wouldn't let up.
I'm surprised to read it this way. On page 84, Opie said confrontationally. I've never done that before.
No.
Says, listen, no one cares about Fozzy. We had you in here because we care about the WWE and Chris Jericho.
Subtle.
And then he goes, sorry, but I don't know what the WWE is. I'm the singer of Fozzy.
Yeah, he kept insisting that Chris Jericho had stolen his look, and then you guys started making mention of the fact that he was ripping off Spinal Tap.
And then it says Dice finally piped in. Listen, he said, who is this guy? Is he a wrestler? WRESTLUH.
A wrestler.
Or is he a singer? SINGUH.
Yeah, Dice went on this whole thing about, so who are you wrestling then? If you're a singer, so you're going to wrestle Chris Jericho? So who are you fighting? And you can't be a wrestler and a singer.
And then Chris Jericho in his book says, I said, Dice, I'm a singer. And then Dice says, well, get off his case then. He's a singer. What a fucking asshole. I miss Dice.
He was also
Totally picture that.
And that was also in the era where you guys were telling Dice to shut up because he kept talking over interviews. He was coming in all the time.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
he was already pissed at you guys. He kept taking Jericho's side, or
Yeah.
Moongoose's side, I should say.
Moonjuice, whatever it was. Fucking
You
name
asked,
was.
Anthony asked if he was going to put somebody in the McQueen, the walls of McQueen, instead of the walls of
I know you
Jericho.
brought-
Walls of Jericho.
I know you
That's
brought
a
in the
big move.
audio. Is this audio match up to the book or not really?
One track does.
Okay. Because then, well, we'll get off his case then. He's a singer. And then suddenly, in one fell cigarette puff, it was now Moongoose and the Dice Man versus Opie and Anthony. Dice got really into what I was saying and became my hype man. When I mentioned that if you look at our songs chronologically, you could see they were recorded before the other bands released their versions. Yeah. Jericho was claiming that everyone ripped him off, and he's not a cover band. He actually came up with these songs.
Well, he said
wrote them.
Fozzy was stuck in Japan
Stuck
for
in
20
Japan.
years making demos, and then the other bands found the demos
Right.
and ripped their songs off.
It was so ridiculous.
yeah.
We couldn't go with it.
He had a gimmick with this band. I mean,
Except
come on.
Dice didn't know chronologically.
Yeah.
He thought it was choreographing, so he kept asking Chris
Yeah.
if he dances.
Yeah, because Dice doesn't understand words.
Yeah, so we did the songs before the other bands released their versions. Dice backed me up by saying, "Listen, he must have a pretty good band if they do all those dance moves. You a good dancer?"
A dancer. You're a good dancer.
So Jericho's coming in here in about a half hour to talk about Undisputed. It looks like it's going to be in a all right book, and we got a nice mention, which is kind of neat. We got some audio from that day. You want to play it? This
I
has
wanna
never
hear
been
some of
played
this.
on satellite.
I
Right.
want to hear some of this.
All right. Ant gets exhausted by Moongoose.
What's the problem with Kane attacking you when you were trying to?
We haven't moved
win
up
the
to drugs
European
like that.
belt?
We're just smoking pot at this point.
Oh, is that?
We don't do those types of drugs.
No, William Regal and Chris were fighting, I believe, and then
Why don't you
Kane
give me
jumped
some
in.
background on this Chris Jericho guy? If you keep insisting on bringing up,
So fucking annoying.
He wouldn't break character, and we were just pounding
Talking
him
about all the
it.
storylines that were happening.
Listen how exhausted Ant sounds.
insisting on bringing up his name, tell me about him at least. Clue us in so we can be in on the joke.
well, he's
please.
fighting. He's fighting for the European title, and then Kane's got a problem with him. I just want to know what the problem is with Kane and
I thought you said he was an American.
Chris. Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
Well, yeah. Is Chris Jericho from Europe?
It's like, come on.
That's Jesus Christ, what are you
Come
doing?
on, we'll promote you.
Come on, stop it.
It's like a half-hour interview, and the whole time you guys were just like, please. Like at one point you said, okay, fine, Moongoose, can you leave and then have
Yeah.
Chris Jericho come in?
Just anything. It was exhausting.
He's right. Chris is right, though. When he to want to talk about anything but that nonsense storylines.
I know.
Hey, what is the masked marauder? He left his hat over someone's. Really? He was right. Why is Matt mad? Who gives a shit, really? 'Cause someone stepped on someone's foot. Idiocy.
That's exactly it.
It was more than that.
We wanted to know.
There was some good storylines.
What feud were you asking about?
We don't remember
I have
anymore.
no idea. It
I was shocked when Anthony, who now makes fun of me for watching wrestling, dropped William Regal's name.
Well, you know something,
Why is
Sam?
William Regal mad?
We used to watch.
If it wasn't for me as a predecessor, maybe wrestling would have folded and you wouldn't have anything to watch. So I think instead of
Really?
goofing on me, you should thank me for being such a fan and buying the pay-per-views and supporting Vince McMahon.
Thank
and
you
at
for-
the time, WWF.
Dude, we watched everything.
Yes. Did you?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what
we
it
were
was-
all in.
I
The
really
storylines
found it
were
funny.
ridiculous.
They wound up getting like they had a PG it down and then they had a like G rating it down, but it was R-rated shit at the time.
Right.
It was funny as fuck. Everyone was in on the act. The acting was terrible.
But The Rock was doing his thing. He was
Yeah.
unbelievable back then.
The Rock rocked that mic. He was one of the best fucking guys on the mic.
Yeah.
You had
And,
him, Stone Cold, and McFoley.
Mick
Yeah.
Foley,
The top
fucking
three there.
Triple H. They were all like in their
Triple
prime
H.
and shit.
At one point, I guess you guys hadn't
Great.
established a relationship with him. You guys were saying how much you wanted to have Chris Jericho in studio. And you go, yeah, we had Mankind in here. He was a stiff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Here's more Chris Jericho not admitting he's Chris Jericho and he only would do the Moongoose thing.
Mike, what's going on?
Hey, Moonjuice McQueen.
That's Moongoose McQueen, let me tell you, Moke.
Hey, douchebag. How do you explain that around the time of all that music was made, you were about 9 years old, sucking your thumb.
Oh, well, actually, I'm actually 40 years old, to be honest with you.
We actually the juice that you're doing that preserves your body.
Well, we actually lived in an all-male bathhouse in the sauna, and the steam kept us looking youthful.
Oh, I see.
So I look pretty good for 40 years old, jackass.
Got an answer for everything.
All right.
Man. It was
a long time ago, man.
Just took forever.
10 years ago.
Yeah, that was
because
he's actually 40 now.
Jesus.
So he would have been like 29 then.
Do they still do the giant entrances for wrestling?
Yeah.
Like the entrances have always been like very huge.
Who is this?
That's Kane.
That's Kane.
I don't know who he is.
He's the Undertaker's brother.
Oh.
What's the matter with you?
This is old, though. He doesn't wrestle with the mask on anymore, right?
No, because at first he wore the mask because he was burned, and then we realized it was psychological scars. Like Dr. Doom.
Like Dr. Doom. Yes.
Why are they all in the ring just knocking each other over? What are they doing?
Battle Royal.
And
Battle Royal. What's the matter with you, Jimmy?
And we had Opie and Anthony signs in the audience almost every week.
Yeah.
It got to a point where we were well represented. No, that's
Jimmy's
one of the
doing wrestling
bushwhackers.
moves.
Whoa.
That's a
man.
bushwhacker. You got to go back.
The manager's in there with the mustache.
Paul Bearer.
That's who Big A looks like.
Oh, man, when he
Jesus.
did that in the Flames, I forgot about that.
Scotty Too Hotty's in there like, oh, shit.
He made Scotty Too Hotty was in there.
Remember Scotty Too Hot?
Why were the
Scotty
fire?
Too Hotty.
Grandmaster Sexay.
I don't remember that one. Do you, Ed?
I remember Scotty Too Hotty.
We remember Scotty Too Hot.
How ridiculous was that shit?
Going back about 10, 11 years, Chris Jericho not being Chris Jericho.
Chris, have you seen Lita naked
We
yet?
just had the debut of the album yesterday.
Yeah, that's a good tag. Something that you
Where
won't be
was
able to
it?
resist.
Chris, have you seen Lita naked yet?
No, they got
Lita
an album.
Ford?
Look.
Lita. We actually
Ford.
we met Lita Ford back in the late 80s.
Yeah, we've seen Lita naked.
She's actually fine.
She was real hot. She had some long blonde hair. She had some really big guns. I would like to see Lita Ford on Whip 'Em Out Wednesday.
Yeah.
That was quoted in the book.
What?
The Lita.
Oh, was
and
it?
Lita Ford thing.
I didn't read the whole page yet.
I wouldn't expect you to. It's a lot of.
That's a lot of
page.
reading.
Yeah.
And then finally, Dice. One last clip from back in the day that is now in the new Chris Jericho book.
Tell him about the restraining order and why that can't happen.
laughing about?
I think it's hysterical.
So funny
Because he
with
won't
you,
come
everything.
Yeah, what's
What,
it?
Dice?
You think
I
it was
laugh
a
at you,
joke?
too.
You think it was a joke working?
That tape.
That's right.
We can't even do any chronological steps in here.
Be on MTV.
All right, listen.
I'm
Sebastian,
not Dice.
Sebastian Bach is on the line.
I'm not even Dice. I'm the group Dobie.
Yeah.
I'm Dobie Dice Clay.
Hey, Ant.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Sebastian-
You guys need Dice to write your material for you because you guys are brutal.
No, you like our show. Shut up, Chris.
Shut up, Chris.
Oh, wow. Shut up, Chris. That's tough. Tough guy talk.
Oh, man.
he's trying to be Moongoose.
That was, I remember when that was Stone Cold Steve Austin got the forklift.
Oh, he lifted
And
up Triple H.
He picked up Triple H in the car and then dumped it on the roof and just squished Triple H and probably killed him.
No, he was actually. I mean, I thought the same thing when I first saw it. He turned out he was all right.
Really?
He was able to make a comeback. We could ask him about it. He'll be in here later this week.
Wow. Yeah, I got to see how his head is from that because that probably would have injured him.
I mean, that was 2000. He's fine now.
Oh, my God. That was a while ago then.
He blew off China to marry the boss's daughter.
Well,
Smart
I mean, he
move.
fell in love, and you
That
know,
was a brilliant move on
he
his
fell
part.
in love. That's what it
Wow.
was about.
Wow, did he trade up? Holy shit, in many ways.
I mean, he fell in love
Oh,
with
yeah.
a lovely young woman named Stephanie, and that was it.
That's The Rock.
Yeah, that's a Rock and Triple H. That's the Iron Man match.
And The Rock came back, right? He's going to be part of WrestleMania?
Yeah, The Rock came back on Monday.
See, now he might have to watch WrestleMania.
Oh, really? What?
Recently? He came back on Monday. He's going to host WrestleMania.
Does he just happen to maybe have a project out?
He specifically went out and said he is not promoting a movie. He's simply, and it's not for the money. He loves the fans.
Really?
He said it.
Is
And,
it
I mean,
coincident-
but what movie's
then
coming out?
Then coincidentally, is there a movie?
well, the Super Bowl had the commercial for the new Fast and the Furious movie. He is in that movie.
Oh, okay. So
He's got a lot of
perhaps-
stuff going on.
You want to hear The Rock coming back to the WWE for the first time?
Of course.
Well,
This went down on Monday, right?
Yes.
Was there a
Really?
surprise?
Was
a
it
big surprise. Everybody went nuts.
Did you know?
I mean, a lot of people had assumptions that it was going to be him, but nobody would specifically say it. It was too good to be true.
Oh, of course it was. Did his music start?
Yeah.
After 7 long years.
Him.
Oh my God! And people go, no.
Yeah.
Finally,
Finally.
It's 7 years.
Oh my God!
finally, The Rock has come back to Anaheim.
Goosebumps.
The douche chills.
Which means, finally, The Rock has come back to Monday Night Raw.
I was smiling so big when I was watching this.
Oh yeah.
Which means,
Smiling while I was watching
finally,
this.
You are?
The Rock has come back.
To WrestleMania.
Home.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I guess the second clip's not worth playing.
What do you mean not worth playing?
The first one wasn't.
That's why.
He did a.
What, the Tooth Fairy guy is going to put on those outfits again? Who gives a fuck?
Tooth Fairy guy.
I like him better as an actor.
He did all his old catchphrases. They tried to dump him out once, but I think they were told not to dump him out.
Really?
Because they don't do that type of language anymore. He told Michael Cole he was going to turn the laptop sideways and stick it straight up his candy ass. They don't do that on TV.
my God. I
He's
gotta
not
hear
allowed
that.
to do his. Is it part of the second clip?
Yeah.
Candy ass.
You were smiling.
Wow.
I was
so they-
smiling so big. I was like, oh.
Faggot.
So they dump out of ass and all that on
Well, especially
WWE?
shoved straight. Yeah, it's TV PG.
Oh, that was
hardcore.
like nothing, man. The Rock got away with saying all
Oh,
that
I
stuff.
know.
Ah, it's sad to hear.
He described himself as pie eating. Somehow he
Just
got
as
away
sure
with that.
as The Rock turns WrestleMania into the most epic WrestleMania of all time, and just as sure as anything can and will happen at WrestleMania, and just as sure as every day John Cena walks out here looking like he just got shot out of Barney the Dinosaur's anus, is just
That shouldn't have flown.
just as sure as The Rock guarantees 3 things at this WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The Rock guarantees to show the world that he is the most electrifying man in all of entertainment.
Not just sports
The
entertainment.
Rock guarantees at the drop of a dime, just like that, to lay it, to smack it down on all their candy
down.
ass.
Oh, come on.
It's a dumb
And the
candy
last
asses.
thing, and most
They
important,
dump asses?
The Rock and the millions.
And millions.
No, that's not good enough. No.
Billions.
The Rock and the millions. No, that's still not good enough. The Rock is the people's champ. You are the backbone of The Rock. When we speak, our
Sounds so
voices are
Hollywood.
heard. We all say, I bring it. Anaheim, the world is watching. Anaheim, the world is listening. One more time, when The Rock and the millions
Listen to
of
that
The Rock
reaction.
fans go to WrestleMania and electrify WrestleMania and the world like no one else can. If you're some man,
How excited.
The Rock.
It's not sing along with the champ.
No. It's not sing along with the champ.
No.
He'd get so mad.
That's when he was a heel, not when he was babyface.
Yeah, not babyface.
Babyface, he could
Feel
sing
that.
along with the champ.
Can we please hear from Dwayne Johnson instead of this buffoon? Oh, yeah, there's the music, motherfucker.
I got the crowd, because everything went black, and everyone was going like,
People's elbow?
there were like noises,
Come on, people's elbow.
and all the lights were down, and all of a sudden it just went,
If you smell what The Rock
and everyone went crazy.
is cooking.
Oh, and they just went like,
Couldn't believe it. Not The Rock. Not here. It couldn't be.
No, can't be.
It sounded like he was a little rusty doing The Rock.
No, he was in that. He was out
Little
there
rusty.
for 20 minutes.
A little rusty.
He didn't sound like The Rock. He sounded like Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, movie star.
There was a
Dwayne
little
Johnson
bit-
going, wait,
movie
how did I
star
used to do
Dwayne
this Rock
Johnson.
thing?
There's a little bit of disappointment because for the first part of his promo, for the first time ever, he was talking in first person. He was saying I.
Oh, no.
And then
it
he
was
said,
always
like,
The
let me
Rock.
talk to you as Dwayne for a second. And told the fans how much he appreciated them sticking with him.
And going to his movies.
Yeah. But then The Rock came back and told Michael Cole to shove the laptop, turn it sideways, stick it straight up his candy ass.
Man, he told him then.
Yeah, we don't want to hear that talk. We want to hear the laptop talk.
And he started taking shots at John Cena. You don't know which direction it's going to go in.
No, he's just wild, man.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? He could end up as like a special referee at WrestleMania, and everybody's going to think he'll turn on John Cena, but then he ends up on John Cena's side. Who knows?
He's gone rogue.
You never know.
He's not taking a chance. He's got a movie career to protect.
Yeah, you think he's doing that?
Right. He's not going to do real bumps.
No.
He's The Rock. He doesn't take bumps. Who's going to knock The Rock on his ass? Nobody.
Good point, Sam.
He dishes it out. He doesn't take it.
Holy shit, we're talking about wrestling again. What's wrong with us?
It's The Rock.
I wouldn't recognize that song.
The Rock's music?
No.
Even though it starts with "If you smell
Well,
the Rock."
if I heard that, I would. But I mean, the music itself.
You should.
All right. Well, the reason we're talking about all this stuff, Chris Jericho coming in about 10 minutes to promote Undisputed, his new book.
Damn.
What's this book about if you already did his...
This book is his WWE career from start to...
What was the other one, then?
Everything leading up to his WWE career.
Well, that's kind of dumb.
What's not dumb? His whole life, his time...
They want the WWE stories.
Well, now he sold 2 books.
Yeah.
I guess he isn't dumb.
Yeah.
You're right.
First one was a bestseller.
Yeah. Well, I'm just joking. Fucking Jericho's a friend of the show. All right. Oh, I found the Charlie Sheen thing that we sort of referenced. We didn't get to because we were doing a lot of shit.
Oh, my God. Charlie
break.
Sheen is just... Has he lost his mind, or is he just completely being a realist with this whole thing?
I don't think he lost his mind. I think there's just people out there that this is what they want for themselves, no
That's
matter
it?
what. Yeah.
Like you said, he tried,
He doesn't want...
tried rehab, didn't like
Has no desire.
He was sober for how long?
I don't even know.
Like 7 years or something? Or he
Uh,
didn't drink? And then he was like, oh, that first one. Ooh.
you heard what was on the episode? I don't watch 2.5 Men at
No,
all.
no,
So
I
I don't
don't
even know what
either.
this is about, but...
I don't either. I just heard his interview on ESPN radio.
Yeah, we're going to get that, too.
What was Jericho's finishing move called?
The Walls of Jericho, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Sam would be sure.
Why you ask?
Because I'm looking in his book, and he's showing. It's funny. He's showing a list of possible closing. What are they called?
Finishing moves?
Finishing moves. And I guess some of them were pretty awful. And he's kind of just shows.
Oh, it was like names that they could have been?
Yeah, the humiliator, buy rate, final countdown. Oh,
Where is that?
page 10.
Oh, 10, okay. All right. But I guess at the end of 2.5 Men, they throw up, I don't even know what it's called. 2.5 Men creator Chuck Lorre put this message about Charlie Sheen at the end of Monday's episode. I guess they put little messages at the end of every episode, I'm assuming, or something like that. And Chuck Lorre, the creator, had this on the screen after the episode. I exercise regularly. I eat moderate amounts of healthy food. I make sure to get plenty of rest. I see my doctor once a year and my dentist twice a year. I floss every night. I've had chest x-rays, cardio stress tests, EKGs, colonoscopies. I see a psychologist and have a variety of hobbies to reduce stress. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't have crazy, reckless sex with strangers. And then he writes, if Charlie Sheen outlives me, I'm going to be really pissed.
Wow.
And that's the creator of 2.5 Men.
See, he's got a sense of humor about it.
At the end of Monday's episode.
They know.
And then you're referring to Charlie Sheen talking to Dan Patrick.
Yes.
Yeah, this was pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen is, I think he's on the old expressway to,
But he's aware. What do you think of people like Charlie Sheen that have no desire to get sober there, Jimmy?
What's he going to take from me? He's sober? He doesn't want to.
No, he doesn't want to. What's your opinion on that type of thing? Do you think there's just people out there that have no desire whatsoever?
Sure. I mean,
and would rather, live...
Most of them. The majority of people don't get sober. It's like unfortunate. But yeah, I think he's like... It's hard when he hasn't lost his gig.
Does logically that make sense to you in your head?
Sure.
That some people are just way happier partying and they don't really have anything if they don't have the drugs and the booze.
I don't know. There's a lot of misery that comes with it. It's hard to say that banging porn stars makes you miserable, but there's a lot of misery that comes with it, like whether it's sex or anything. There's always a downside to it.
Where's the upside if you get sober?
You just start to live again. You start to connect with people. It's really weird. Like when I'm not acting out sexually, these weird things I do, like I go out to lunch with people. I just do shit because my whole mind, your whole fucking mind. I know, but your whole mindset's different when you're doing that. So if he stopped that, he would probably connect with people a lot better and just feel a lot more part of.
Would that
he said he had.
Would that make him happier though?
I think most people, if you're smoking coke, or if you have to be going to the hospital, you're just putting on a good front. I mean, I know it's great to be getting laid, and there's probably a lot of laughs. But no one is at that point where they're going to the hospital and having a great time anymore.
Yeah, after a suitcase of coke gets delivered to your
the risk of going to jail.
And,
you're surrounded by people who don't give a fuck about you. There's not one of those people that really gives a shit about him.
No.
He's just Charlie Sheen, the rich actor, jerk off.
Do you think he knows that?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't give a shit about them either.
Right.
You know what I mean? But most people are just surrounding yourself with people who don't care about you at all. Which I guess, look, if you're getting blown by 4 porn girls, it's hard to wonder if they care about you.
Right.
But it's a tough case to make that he shouldn't do it. If he wants to do it, let him do it.
Yeah, sure. Here he is on Dan Patrick a couple days ago.
How'd you lose your voice?
Well, I went back to work, and I was banging on the stage door. Hello, where's everybody? And I don't know what happened. I guess they're closed.
They won't let you back in?
Nobody told me. Nobody told me. I just figured, I'm supposed to go back to work because I'm ready.
Wait, you're on hiatus?
No, we're on forced hiatus. They said, you get ready, we'll get ready, and I got ready. I went back. Nobody's there. I don't know what to tell you then. Nobody's there.
Well, wait, how do they tell you? You're the star of 2.5 Men. So who decides when you get to, you can't do 1.5 Men?
No, and that was clearly revealed when they had to bring me back this year, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm just, I'm here and I'm ready. They're not. Bring it,
When are you scheduled to start shooting again?
I believe August of 2014 at this pace. I don't know. It's supposed to be like the 28th or the 29th. That's what it is. It's the 29th and a non-leap year.
He sounds horrible.
He sounds horrible.
Sounds like he's on coke.
Yeah, he sure does.
But it's like you're fucking up a gig. They have to put the show. You're making almost $2 million a week.
Wow.
And the show has to be put on hiatus. What does that tell you? Like, nobody being rational fucks with a gig that's doing that. It's a multi-million-dollar job.
Right.
And a painless job for him. He's good at it. It's fucking.
Can do it in his sleep.
Yeah, it's a machine at this point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything flows. He knows everybody. And he is fucking it up.
He sounds like radio guys.
Yeah, he does.
A bunch of them thrown together or something. A little Scott Farrell. There's a little Florentine in there who's, obviously stand-up.
But he's talking really kind of fast. He's also very off the wall with his thoughts and what he's saying. So
he said, bring it.
Bring it.
Bring it.
Like that. Bring it.
God, you watch Platoon. He's so good in that. You watch Wall Street.
It's phenomenal.
So good in that. And
Ferris Bueller.
And now he's just yeah, that's actually who he was.
Yeah, really.
And now he's just a disaster.
Yeah, bring it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shake it up.
I don't know what he's doing, to be honest with you.
He's I thought there was another clip where he talks about how being sober is boring or something. Didn't we read that somewhere? I guess we just don't have the clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he wasn't doing the right stuff sober. I certainly don't miss getting high, drinking. You know what I mean? It's like, but for him, he associates so much sex and all that stuff with it. But it's like, dude, you're Charlie Sheen. You don't need to smoke coke to get blown by a bunch of girls. It's like, you know what I mean? He spends money anyway on these whores. You don't have to hang out with them. If you just pay them, they'll fuck you.
You don't have to hang out with them.
What are you paying for the illusion that they like you? Like you want to hang out and I never fucking hung out with escorts. For what?
Why doesn't the family get more involved?
Can they do? I mean, I've heard that Martin used to drink and does not anymore.
Right.
But it's like that he's an adult. He's a fucking 40-something-year-old man. They can't do anything.
He put out some kind of statement saying something like, they
tried
trying and he only hopes for the best. But I think even they know, what more can you do?
Yeah, he's not ready. It's like, look, if the guy's enjoying it, let him enjoy it. But I just can't comprehend wanting to hang out with a bunch of porn stars. And it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, fuck them, but what do you got to hang out and drink and laugh?
Right.
They don't like that. You're paying to fuck them, stupid. Pay them.
Right.
Fuck them.
Right.
Well, maybe he likes that, but then likes to hanging out and doing drugs. If he's not alone doing, that would be a little odd to be sitting there by yourself, just snorting coke and have a drink in the air going, woo, woo. He wants people around like a party.
He's embarrassing himself.
Yeah.
You're embarrassing your family. If it's at a point where you're going to the hospital in New York and you're having these altercations, where the girl took your wallet and you're freaking out in the hotel. It's not just the guy was drunk or high and somebody broke into his house and said, wow, this guy's laughing and getting blown by 8 people.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
He's bringing it to everyone's attention because he's going to the hospital. That's where it's a problem. It's affecting his work, and he's going to the hospital. If he's just getting high alone and nobody knew about it, who cares?
Thank God for Emilio Estevez's horrid career as an embarrassment to the family, because he looks a little better. At least he's got a hit show.
I think Emilio's directing.
Maybe he's proving a point.
Is he?
I think so.
Yeah, the directing one.
He did a Bobby Kennedy movie or something supposed to be good.
He actually,
yeah.
He's actually on the other side of the camera doing well.
Oh, is that what he's doing these days?
Yeah, he's one of those guys that moved to the other side of the camera.
Well, fuck me running.
Sure.
I had no clue what Emilio was up to.
Judd Nelson?
What's he up to?
I think he's on the other side of the camera, too.
They always go to the other side of the camera.
I think he's doing well there.
I'm on the other side of the camera now.
I don't know. Someone's saying Joe C., Staten Island, he's a rock star. Who cares? He's just living that rock star fucking life.
He is, but those guys always drop dead before they're supposed to.
You got to stop the rock star lifestyle at his age.
Yeah.
You know, it's great through your 20s and 30s maybe, but after that, like, you know, there's plenty of guys that have dropped dead long before that.
It's like it's all fun and we hear the stories, but you don't see the misery of the... Well, how about the whatever happened with his wife in Colorado or his ex-wife or whatever it was? There was the arrest or whatever. It's like
a little domestic going on or something.
Yeah, if you're doing that shit, it's not fun anymore.
Right.
Like... I mean, Ozzy, we hear all these great stories about what a maniac he was, but then he tries to kill his wife, and he fucking does things that you're like, oof. Like, you got so lucky there that you're just not in jail for the rest of your life. Like, it's not just pissing outdoors anymore. It's awful stuff.
Yeah, the guy could actually go to jail.
Yeah, it's like, what happens if one of these girls overdoses? Eventually, one of them is going to die in your fucking house.
Yeah.
With cocaine that you bought.
I have to call Michael Corleone.
Yeah, right.
She doesn't have any family. It's okay. We'll take care of it.
Satan in Virginia. Satan.
What up, guys? Hey,
Hi, Dev.
Jimmy, how long were you an actual drug addict for? I mean, I'm going to completely acknowledge that you love to bang whores. And
yeah. I was. It was mostly alcohol. It was through my teenage years. A few years. It didn't last that long, bro.
All right. Well, I'm just because basically, I mean, Charlie Sheen's a fucking disaster. There's no question about that. But I guess whenever you comment on drug addiction, it just kind of throws me off because I know you really didn't have a problem with that.
But I did. My main one was alcohol, and normal people don't behave the way I behaved. Normal people don't pull box cutters on people or cut themselves or just call the FBI. You know, I knew I would have been dead by the time I was 25. I never would have kept going. So it doesn't last that long, but it doesn't. I don't need it to.
All right. Now, how is your like, are you doing pretty good with the sex addiction now, or are you still...
Yeah, the hard part of the sex addiction, it's not hard to really not fuck people. The hard part is like, it's like the fucking pornography. It's the spending hours where you fucking, you know what I mean? It's like, you start, like, the way I trigger myself is I'll look at one thing, and then all of a sudden I'm on fucking XTube or I'm on PornTube, and it's 3 hours later, and I'm not blowing a load, and I'm doing it to escape. It's like...
Is this a problem?
It's just... Yeah, but your dick is like a fucking piece of knotted rope. You're like, what am I doing? I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm fucking... No, it's not... You know what I mean?
I acknowledge that. Yeah, I have a serious porn addiction, too. Anytime I, go out of town for training or something, I find myself just fucking bored.
Right.
Just scoping porn for 3 hours. But
well, you convince yourself that it's a part of who you are. Like when I write, a lot of times I start looking at porn, and it's like when I hit a wall writing, I look at porn. It's like this weird thing I do, and then I go back to the writing, so I don't sit there just in this thick room with no thoughts when I'm writing.
At least you got writing. I just sit there and beat it off for 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, good deal, dude. By the way, I fucking love your comedy. You need to come to Virginia again.
Thank you. I'm sure I will.
He's going to be in Cincinnati.
Yes, this weekend.
Why are they blurring
Funny
out?
Bone.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, buddy.
Why are they blurring out the faces of the Egyptian savages that are around Lara Logan in the famous pictures?
I don't
now
know.
That's like just before she was attacked.
Unless that was her crew and they're protecting them. I don't know.
Or
I don't think it's her crew.
Or maybe they didn't get the rights. The lawyers might have said you have to bleep it.
No, it's probably those guys, then people are thinking those were the guys that sexually assaulted
That's what
her.
I'm thinking. But who gives a fuck? What are they going to sue?
I'm just saying, maybe they don't want to go down that road because maybe those guys weren't the ones.
How could they sue?
But who cares?
I'm not saying it's right, by the way.
I know.
I'm thinking what
Oh, I know absolutely what you're saying. That's the same thing I'm thinking is why they did it. But why do it anyway? These are fucking.
You see that picture and you just assume everyone in that picture, got
2 seconds
got
later,
a taste.
had their uncut cocks out.
So they're
I wonder if anybody actually fucked her, like in
Dude,
a mob
if
of
it
people.
says brutally and sustained sexual assault.
It has to be.
It has to be.
Fucking animals.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Fucking animals. Keep going over there, Americans. Keep fucking standing the groups and trying to show them jubilant. Fuck it. Let them treat each other the way they want to treat each other.
Just to hear the jackass news people going like, and it must have just been a wonderful, the jubilation in there. The people look great. And just to know that was going on right when they were saying that. Yuck.
Yeah.
Dictators are needed.
Listen, we got to cut the short. We can go back to it, certainly. We got Chris Jericho, so we're going to take a small break.
Oh, yeah.
Get Chris Jericho in to promote his new book.
Yeah.
Good friend of the show. Stay there.
Hey, this is Chris Jericho, the sexy beast of the WWE and the lead singer of Fozzy, and this is Opie and Anthony. Listen up, kids.